Dude. Who are you?
Yeah. I'm Matheus man.
Where are we?
We are in Nashville, Tennessee, man. We're playing hot chicken picnics. Is the only way to survive.
So who do you play with, Matheus?
Well, a bunch of people these days, all sorts of random gigs, but my regular ones are with the Royal Hounds. We play at Roberts every Tuesday in the afternoon, 2 to 6. And we've been there for about 7 years now. And then I play with Nathan Belt. We do a lot of 90s stuff, 90s country. He has some great originals as well. And then, just all kinds of different bands around town.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from São Paulo, Brazil. Yeah, I've been here 7 years. In
7
Nashville,
years?
Yeah.
Nice. So how did you why Nashville? From Brazil, because that's a pretty big move.
Yeah, it is a pretty big move.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's a long drive, right? But yeah, it's not something that I always dreamed of or anything. But I started playing guitar, played a lot of rock music because I love electric guitar. And then I got interested in country just because I'm a guitar geek, and I was exploring different techniques and stuff. And I found like Albert Lee and Brent Mason. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like a lot of skill, but at the same time with the clean tone, I just thought that was very interesting. I got passionate about it. And it kind of felt like, I had to figure it out by myself because there's no country bands in Brazil, not at the time, at least. And so I couldn't really ask anybody's like advice on how to play stuff. So I kind of figured it out by myself, best I could. And I started writing some original material because I like that creative thing. And then a guy named Flávio Gutoc from Brazil, from São Paulo, he used to write a country guitar lessons for Guitar Player magazine at the time, and he showed me some videos of the Don Kelly band and playing at Roberts, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. So that was the first thing I've ever seen like from Nashville, at the time, and I was like probably like 20 years old, 21 maybe.
Do you remember what guitarist it was in the Don Kelly videos?
He showed me several different ones,
Okay.
So I saw like J.D. Simo.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
That was the first, that was why I moved to town, was
Yeah.
JD with Don.
Yeah, I saw him, and I saw, Daniel, saw Porter, and then Johnny Hyland. And Johnny was the one who like blew my mind.
Have you seen that video?
Like, oh my God!
Have you seen that like VHS YouTube video of Johnny with Don, and it's just like Johnny tearing it up for 20 minutes?
Yeah,
and it's like stupid.
It's ridiculous. He's a machine gun. Like, he's like so precise.
He lives in Virginia now.
Yeah, he does. The first time I ever came to Nashville before I moved here was 2016, and the first thing I did, I landed and I went straight to his house. I booked a lesson with him, and he was the nicest guy. He was super nice, and I got there a little early because I was anxious, and of course, like I was about to meet my hero basically, and but he was the nicest guy, and he just had lunch, and he just grabbed the guitar, no warm up, no nothing, just plugged it in straight into an amp, and then sounded like Johnny Hyland, and I was like so shocked.
Well, that's what you do. You sound like you when you play. That's what I love about your playing.
Thank you, man. I can make just about any piece of gear sound like crap,
Well, how about you were playing some crazy stuff up the top there.
Yeah.
So you figured all this out on your own, I guess. Lots of study. What are some like kind of key elements you think of your playing, or are there any licks that this is the Matheus Canteri lick? Like, is there anything you gravitate towards or do that you think is you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure I repeat myself a lot, but I try to. Here's how I look at things, and whenever I have a student that's trying to learn something and I'm trying to help them, this is what I try to tell people because it's what worked for me. Every time I learned a lick, I never was the kind of guy who learned like 100 solos from Brent Mason and a ton of solos by Albert Lee. I would learn like maybe part of a solo and then find a lick that I liked and understand the mechanics of that lick.
Okay, yeah.
And then try to apply those mechanics into something else. Like, for example, I learned a pentatonic lick like this. This was actually the first country thing that I learned from Albert Lee was, I learned this lick, and I try to break things down. So, there's a hammer on, and then the next note is on the next string down with the middle finger. Anyway, you know, you get the idea.
Yeah.
The idea. So I listed all the steps, the mechanics of that lick, and then I try to apply that to, let's try it on the, you know, the G major scale and do, you know.
So by fundamentally breaking down the lick, you're able to understand how to use it. Because this is something I harp on about, is if I come from the jazz tradition where you learn a lick and learn it in all 12 keys and how to apply it in every situation. I guess it's the same thing. You're saying you learn a lick, you learn the mechanics behind it and the function of it, so you can use it in any situation. So you could do it in anything from B flat to
Exactly, yeah. There's
F,
always a way
you know?
to do it, you know. And sometimes you're thinking of a scale, sometimes you're thinking of chord tones, just approaching chord tones. You know, the different keys, like you said.
Can you show us that lick, that Albert Lee lick? That was cool. I've never heard that or seen that.
So it's like, that's it. So
do you remember what record or solo it's from?
this was from, actually, he's just talking. There's some guy like asking him questions, and he's like, you know, can you show us a lick?
Who would
And that's
want that?
what he.
Some guy asking you questions. Who
Like
wants that?
yeah, some guy, you know. Yeah. Anyway,
Might have been me.
it might have been you,
In a
man. You
past
know,
life.
you would probably be very young.
3 or 4.
Yeah, but you know, like, yeah. So I try to break it down and understand that. And an easy way to do that, I tell my students sometimes if they're having a hard time to understand that, is like write the tabs for that lick and then erase all the numbers, and I'll put different numbers there.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
see if that works, because you will keep the structure, the mechanical structure of the lick, you know. So I can do this, you know. That's my E minor G pentatonic, but if I want to do like, use this, you know.
It sounds like it's going to be from one of the like Egyptian levels on Crash
Exactly.
Bandicoot.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
That was
you
really
know,
cool.
So I can, or if it's like, if it's a chord tone, you know, if I'm just approaching, let's say, this, you know, G, the
Yeah.
root and the third here, I can, and any
Oh,
chord, you know,
genius,
if it's a C, you know.
Oh, that's really. So wait, you also teach. How can people hit you up for that?
Just through my website, matheuscanteri.com, and just send me an email through there. And
I'm
I'll
going to put a link to
yeah.
that. So so you've learnt this country stuff. You're playing. I mean, you're a ripper country. I remember when I moved to town, how much you helped me out. You used to get me up, and I used to try and play at Roberts. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I mean, you were always a badass killer player, dude. Yeah.
But dude,
yeah.
what are some in terms of, you know, staple country stuff? What's like a let's break down a lick. What's another lick you've got that you think is like a hot lick, like something that you like pulling out, you know?
Well, let's see, man. There's
so many, right?
There's so many, you know. And to me, here's the thing too. Like, I try to, once you learn a lick, like that one that we just used as an example, then you need to be able. Here's how I approach playing. Like, I'm not looking for like, well, we're in a. What is a good A lick? I'm not thinking like that. I'm always like thinking in terms of like chord shapes. So I'll have like ideas over chord shapes that I work when I'm practicing at home, and I have solutions basically.
Oh, okay,
but I don't
yeah.
know exactly what I'm gonna do. What I do know is like the sound of the scales that I can use around that chord, and what scale to use depending on what sound I want to get. So if I want a happy, you know, country sound, I'll go for the major pentatonic. If I want bluesy, I'll go for the minor pentatonic. And if I want something like a little more melodic and less, you know, whatever you call it, like less pentatonic, I'll go for mixolydian if it's a dominant chord, you know.
Yeah.
And so forth, you know, but that's the kind of idea, and that seems basic. But I realize a lot of like students that I have, they know the stuff mechanically very well, but they just execute stuff not knowing like exactly why, you know. So it's like, it's important to me to know like, if I want to get that sound, so that's what I'm going to do. But bringing it back to the lick, So once you learn a lick and you understand the mechanics and you apply it over different scales, then how about like being able to manipulate that lick on the flight and like
Oh,
changing
okay.
parts? So to me, one thing that I can do is you grab one part of that lick and you repeat it. And then if you're able to do that, now all of a sudden you kind of broke free from that original format of the lick. And that allows you, once you start doing that to everything you play, then you kind of like, you realize you don't have to know 1,000 licks. You can have a few patterns that work for you, that feel good, like technically feel good. That's the other thing too. A lot of people try to play like this guy or that guy. You got to find what works for you, you know? So
Right.
for me, like if I have a lick like that, what about if I just repeat the first hammer on every other time? So I have something like,
Yeah. So you're
you know,
finding that by using the mechanics and fundamentals of a lick, you've created more, because that's a big thing. You have a sound and you don't sound like anyone else and no one sounds like you. I can hear your influences, but that's only because I've also studied similar guys, but we've ended up in very different places, you know. But your big thing is finding your own voice through this. And
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people's goal, but you're explaining it in a way that maybe people haven't thought of before. Because you play some fantastic stuff, but you also seem to you generate ideas.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, it's like I said, you know, I'm less interested in like memorizing solos by players that I love, and more interested in like what are the ingredients, you know? What
Right.
did he use? Like why does that sound? Why do I like that sound? That's a big question. Like a lot of people, they'll play and they're like, I don't know, I don't like what I played. I'm like, why? Why don't you like what you play?
Yeah.
Why don't you like that note choice? That's important when you're practicing, to be aware of those things. When you play something you like, stop for a second and be like, why do I like that? You start to get to know yourself, and that influences my decisions when I'm improvising. You know, I kind of know what I like now, and I mean it's endless. Believe me, I'm nowhere. You know, I'm not saying like, you know, I'm mastered the instrument. That's never going to happen. It's impossible. But it's endless. But it's a process, and it's very enjoyable once you start to do those things. I just try to be aware of like if something bothers me, I try to be like, why is it bothering? How can I fix it? Same with technical things like mistakes. Sometimes, you know, if there's a certain thing you play that you're like, you know, every other night you get it right, or you know, one time out of 3 times you try it, you get it right, then you're doing damage to your playing, kind of. You know, you're
Yeah.
practicing your mistakes more. And if you just spend 5 minutes and figure out a better way to do that, then you're not leaving any gaps behind. And then as you move forward, you don't have that problem again. You know,
Right.
you're gonna fix the next problem. You know.
Speaking of
Yeah.
technique, you kind of use a crazy pick. Can I see?
Yes,
See that?
yes.
What is this thing?
This is the
won't
Heart
focus.
Attack model.
Heart
It's made
Attack.
by Anatomy of
I'm gonna
Sound.
try and get close. It
Yeah.
doesn't want to focus.
Yeah,
There we go.
I have some
Oh,
newer
wow.
ones too. It'll look nicer. I can show you.
I've never seen anything like that. What's up with
It's
that?
it's a very heavy pick, and it's made by Anatomy of Sound. They're out of California, and Larry, you know, the owner, he hit me up many years ago. I've probably been using these for like 5 or 6 years at least, and he was like, hey man, I make some picks. Can I send you some? And he sent me some, and I was like, can you make me something like you know, a little heavier? And then so we went back and forth, and after a few you know, models, we got to this one, and this is what I've been using for years now. There's no particular like reason. I just like how he feels, and being heavy, I use light strings, and I feel like I get a very even sound of like my higher strings. You know, just get a little more volume without having to compress. You know.
Right. So you,
Yeah.
no, I always find what pick people use is interesting because I've gone back and forth my whole life. I always end up on Jazz 3,
Yeah.
the Ultex ones, but I've got friends who, one of my friends uses those crazy, the picks, Swiss picks, the picks with the holes in them. He won't touch anything else. Like that's it. Another friend of mine only uses this one pick that he had to find a bag of them from the 80s and paid like $300 and got
know,
100
yeah.
of them, and he's worried because he's down to the last 20
Yeah.
and he's freaking out.
And I think that's where it's at, like using the same one.
Oh,
That's
okay, yeah.
the important thing.
You're
I
very
think.
consistent. You're very consistent with that kind of stuff. Then.
Yes, I am, because I feel like that makes it so it's more of like an extension of your body, and there's less room for mistakes. Like I said, because if
Right.
you're using like different picks, that used to be me a long time ago, and I used whatever pick was around me. I would just like grab it and play, and it's fine, But it's like after a while, I was like, well, I can't really fine tune my technique if I keep doing this, So I try to
Right.
stay like with this one, and then that's my story.
And then what about this guitar? What's this?
This is the Hot Shot Telecaster. Stock, I didn't do anything to it. I raised the E string a little bit because, like I said, I use 9s, so it just sings a little more, being
Okay,
a little
yeah.
higher. I have a little more sustain, and it's plays very nice. I didn't
Nice
change
color.
anything. It's
I
got
like that blue.
Yeah, I love the color, and it's got 5-way switch, so I can get all the kind of the Albert Lee sound,
Hang on. Before we go ahead, let's do that again slowly. Let's see that right hand.
Oh, yeah.
It worked. 'Cause that was crazy. That was so clean, Matheus.
Yeah. Oh,
I haven't seen you do it like that. Go and do that again.
Yeah.
Just slow.
You want me to do slow?
Yeah, please. Now can you just rip through it? And have you got nails or fake nails?
No, I got nails. Yeah, real
Okay.
nails. Kind of short, not very long.
That
but
was
yeah.
amazing. That was so clean.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Good thing your nails don't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
true.
swap-
Yeah,
it's
that's
not like
true.
a
And
pig.
yeah, I guess I'm lucky. I know a lot of people use those plastic nails. I only broke my nails like twice.
I
in
always
all
break
these
them.
years. And
That's my issue. I can't use them. I always break them.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's a thing. Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of play lightly as well, and with
Okay,
light
yeah.
strings, so maybe that helps a little.
I've seen guys downtown gluing on nails before a shift before.
Yeah, isn't
And
that funny?
I remember seeing that and being like, what's going on?
Yeah, man, Nashville musician problems.
So okay, we'll finish up. You've been in Nashville for about 7 years.
Yeah.
We'll start with, what are your upcoming projects? What are some things you're excited to do, looking forward to?
I'm excited to like collaborate more with like players like yourself, and
I'm not a player. I'm just a
You
body.
absolutely are, man. You're a badass, man. Yeah, and I just like that. I think we all grow so much from doing that. And writing originals is always like a priority for me. I like writing stuff and putting out, in different forms of content. Whether it's on YouTube, that's my main platform, or Instagram.
You're doing a lot with young Nate Gregory.
Nate Gregory, man, he's a great player. We've known each other for several years now. He used to, before he was even like old enough to go into the venues, he would come with his parents to Roberts and sit in with us, and he was always great, man.
I remember when he
talented
turned
player.
21 a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And we all showed up to Red Door, and he was just like, I'm 21. He was
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, well, he's great, and his family's great too. And yeah, man, I just love playing with him. He's always so like happy, and it's just contagious,
We need to get both of you, because I've seen the clips of you two playing together, but I need to get both of you talking.
Yeah,
It's a nice friendship to see. It's kind of like, it's two like these guys are meant to be hanging out. You know
Yeah,
what
we
I mean?
just truly enjoy each other, and we like getting together every chance we can. He's always on the road too, and I have a lot of gigs too, but we get together every chance we can to write some twin parts or whatever, and that's been something we've been talking about, like doing some sort of project like that, like where it's like twin guitars and doing the country chicken picking thing. So, and that's it, and mostly just trying to really like share whatever I can share, as far as like lessons and stuff, and just trying to do my own thing, like as myself. I'm not really, I don't have anything like, I want to play with that guy or this guy or whatever. If something pops up, that's cool, but otherwise I'm happy doing what I'm doing, just.
Then what about the last thing? You got to play Tellytown.
Yes.
Dude, like, I saw that lineup. It's like,
Yeah.
James Burton was there, Brent Mason, Was Red there? Red wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there.
Red was on the road.
Yeah. Had like
Brad Paisley?
Yeah, Ricky
Brad
Skaggs,
Paisley,
yeah.
dude. Jack White. Well, that was the surprising one.
Yeah. Ricky Skaggs.
Ricky Skaggs.
Yeah.
I think people forget.
Tommy Emmanuel, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, my
Yeah.
fellow countrymen.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think people forget how fierce of a telly player Ricky truly
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Amazing.
Of course, Ray Flack is on all those records, and
Yeah.
Derek Wells was there. He's
Yeah,
monster pickup.
He was the band leader actually on
really?
for the house band. Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
one of
he's
my
great,
one of my
man.
biggest. Like I look up to that
Yeah.
guy.
Trey Hensley was there too, and that guy's
Oh, dude.
scary.
Is he in
Scary.
town now?
I think he lives in East Tennessee,
Dude, that
but
guy.
it's something else. Like
That he's kind of scary. He's
Very scary. He's very scary.
very nice, but
very nice. Yeah,
He's
very
playing
nice.
music.
But he's playing scary, and his singing is amazing too.
Wait,
Great,
so you-
great singer. Yeah.
you got to play at the real mecca of country music. You got to play the Ryman, and you got to do it for Tellytown, which is kind of the biggest. You moved here to be a telly player, I guess. So
Yeah. No,
how,
it was quite the honor, man.
how was that? That was just. It was you and Nate playing together.
Yeah, me and Nate playing
dude.
together, and you know, we did a video at Fender, probably about a year ago now, and you know, we had such a great time doing it, and so we were just like, I mean, I personally I couldn't believe when they invited me. It's like, hey, are you free this day to do this? I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna
But,
make sure
yeah.
I'm free.
Yeah, of course, you know, but it's like I honestly like, and the funny thing is like I didn't tell anybody, not like a
I
single
didn't
person.
know,
Like,
and Nate didn't tell anyone either. And then
because
we're
I
in
was
a-
like, you know, one of those like, man, well, I'll believe the next day after this has happened. I've seen
Right.
the videos of it, but yeah.
we were in a group chat with Nate, and we're all messaging him like, "Dude, are you at the Ryman right now?"
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
know.
"Yeah, I'm playing," and we were like, "Bro."
Yeah, man,
So-
it's crazy.
So, what are your current shifts? I'll leave it on this. What are your current shifts downtown in case anyone wants to catch you and they're in town?
Well, the regular, you know, my regular shifts right now, I'm playing 2 to 6 at Roberts. That's the main one.
That's
2
on
to 6 on
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, yeah,
Yep.
at Roberts. That's the main one. And then, you know, like every other Saturday at Music City Bar and Grill in the Music Valley area with
Yep.
Nathan Belt. And we do a lot of, you know, the other stuff is kind of like, if you reach out to me on Instagram, I'll let you know where I'm playing. I usually post it on my stories and stuff, but you know,
That's the same as me. I picked up something for tomorrow and something for Sunday.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
before I came here.
Yeah, you never know, and it changes so much. You know, but Skinny Dennis, Acme, Friends in Low Places, all over the place, kind of. Yeah.
And then, as someone moving to town, one piece of advice: just a guitar player's moving to town. What are you telling them to do?
Man, just go out and hang out and introduce yourself to, you know.
That's how we met.
And yeah, I know. And here's the other advice too. A lot of people will and of course, you know, sometimes you got to pay the bills and it's whatever. But if you're trying to play a certain type of like country music, then go hang out with the people who are doing that, you know. Don't like, because if you get a gig that you hate, there's a lot of people that do this. They'll just like get whatever gigs and then they hate it and then they'll get more of it. You know?
And they get and
yeah.
they're at Bridgestone Arena on a sold out show and they're like, I don't even like playing.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
well,
even
if
like
that
playing
happens, I
heavy
guess there's
metal.
a-
Here I am playing in a heavy. All I want to do is play classical. All
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in a position to give anybody advice, but that's it. Hang out.
Well, I think a lot of guys look up to you, man.
Yeah,
I think
and
you
say,
need to
say
know that,
yes
you know?
to things. Say yes
Yeah.
to things, and even if you don't feel like you're 100% prepared, because you know if you just keep waiting for the right moment, it's just never happening. You know, just go there and then spend some nights awake learning material. You know, and be
dude.
as ready as you can, and that's it. You know, do the best you can. Be a nice person, and yeah, you get called back. You know.
And you get to play Tellytown.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Thanks for your time, Matheus.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you.